even for myself, when I've been competing in some sort of like event or some sort of tournament or whatever, and I find myself applying that extra bit of pressure to myself, making mistakes, really wanting it, and then the time that I just relax, chill out, and enjoy myself is the time when I put in the best results. And ever since that point there was when I stopped worrying and stopped really applying all that pressure to myself and just gave it everything. And yeah, it's the full beans. But here we go. Now, coming up now, Mizzo onto the home straight, putting his car back into the grid box. Everyone else is going to be doing the exact same. I need to ask you really quick, Jess. Top 3 predictions for the end of the race. Go.
Right, I'm going to say Nick Turn, Mizzo, and Yawn.
Okay, so I'm going to go Mizzo to win and Nick Turn to finish P3 due to penalties, with Buemels taking second, is my prediction.
Oh, okay, yeah. I would say that as I agree with that. Your prediction, yeah.
Well, here we go. It's time to see if we can get the 100% prediction. Bang on the nose here as the lights are on. And as soon as they get away, it's going to be the start of the British Grand Prix. Mizzo gets a beautiful start there. Coffey's actually not that far behind him at all. Mizzo's going to go seriously defensive down in towards turn 1. Does end up running just a touch wide, but he's kept it all together. And I love the sight of that as all the cars just come flying around like a stampede as we come towards turn 3. Everybody's through fine. There's a corner cone penalty there for Bird. A little bit of a runoff wide there for him. Lots of shifting around. That's actually Yolter, I believe, who's actually lost control of the car. Gooby, sorry, who ended up getting onto the inside. No damage for his car. Gets in front of Bird in the Red Bull. And now he sits down in P15. Fossetti climbs up to 14th place.
Very good start for Yolti, and also good start for Blue as well. But we've got Beaker trying to go around the outside of Blue into Luffield and now going to Woodcote. And we've got the other Ferrari up ahead trying to get past Just Chin as well. It's going to be 3 wide going through Woodcote even. Going into Cops Corner. This is not going to end well if they stay 3 wide. But I think luckily they managed to keep it together surprisingly, which is good to see. Yonti taking advantage. He's staying ahead. And Sloppy is just backing out of it just a little bit. I think he realised he was a bit too ambitious. He's just going to try and stay put for now. And maybe, as I think Raceberg has broken a bit too late there, and I think, or made a bit of mistakes. I think Volsetti's going to try and go around and hang it straight now. He's going to try to get around the outside of Volsetti at the moment, but I don't think he's going to do it. I think Volsetti is going to get the edge and overtake. Yes, he does. Great move from Volsetti.
Yeah, and then immediately Blue Rainbow just slips in between them. Just says, this is how you do it nice and quickly. Job's a good one. I'll slip in a P15. Falsetti with a beautiful overtake round the outside in towards Stowe, and the stewards have been in touch. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, we have got live stewarding, and under investigation is the incident between Yonti and Gooby for turn 1, I believe it was. So that's
makes great, absolute, fantastic racing, and Martin G is going to have a go through the Wellington straight now. He's got DRS, and he easily gets past Bjorn there, and I think Bjorn had no answer to that. And we also got the Ferrari catching up quite quickly as well. So Martin G up into 5th place, Falsetti going past Rainbow just then, up into P13. So changes are happening.
Oh, they've gone off. They've gone off severely. That was Rainbow and Falsetti. They've gone wide. I think Rainbow might have actually gone into the side of Falsetti that's caused that situation to begin. Jon didn't actually work out too well, but he's going for the inside line here. This is an opportunity to be in a little bit of contact between the two. That's actually caused Jon's car to rotate, but he caught it. Beautiful move there. That's actually given Jonte the opportunity to slip down the inside, and Jon getting a little bit too big for his boots there. Indeed. So Nick Turn still holding on to net race lead. There's Falsetti ahead of him. That's Mizzo's teammate. They might be doing a little bit of team odyssey here. Falsetti's trying to hold Nick Turn back, and technically he can. He's not blue flagged by any stretch of the imagination. This is purely being wingman time now. Has Falsetti got everything he needs? You can see the effort he's putting in there to try and throw Nick Turn off, and he does. But now he's actually kind of in the way for his teammate. Moves out of the way to lane through. Oh, Falsetti's lost it. But that's the sacrifice he made to give his teammate the opportunity that he's got right now. Just under 4 tenths is the gap between him and Nick Turn. The gap will only get...
Well, the start of the opening sector, and then going on to the Wellington straight, doing absolutely well to try and cover that. And I just checked who got the penalty before Sloppy, and it was Bird. So Bird has got another 3 seconds added to his time, so very unfortunate. But he's got past Sloppy into though.
9. I think he's actually really close to Yawn, actually. Yeah, they're side by side. This is a little scrap that's going on here, and Yawn will not back out of this. He's got the inside line for this corner. Justin's going to have to give him a sufficient amount of space. Yawn took the corner a lot tighter than he necessarily had to, and that meant then that Just Chillin gets a much better line out of it, and Yawn does not get DRS. Bird's still leading there. He does have DRS as well from the car ahead, but he's going to have lost a lot of time there, which is not... He doesn't have DRS, pardon my tongue, as here comes Sloppy for a move. That's Bird trying to squeeze him to the inside as much as possible. Sloppy's managed to just secure it, but locks up a little bit. That gives Bird the run through the outside, runs too far wide, and yes, Sloppy's run too wide on this corner, but because of that, he gets a much better line through it, and the overtake has been completed. Sloppy now up into P6. Bird slowly but surely is falling down the grid.
He is built throughout the race. He's pretty much gone.
Yep, absolutely. Oh, you can see Sloppy under attack again from Bird. There's the DRS and slipstream coming into play. He is going to take the line through fine. No issues at all. Beautiful overtake from him now.
Sloppy and Bird must be worried here, as they're going side by side, going to the Wellington straight now, and I think Sloppy manages to hold on and defend, but I think Bird is going to go for the cut and switch back, but unfortunately he has to force himself for 7th place.
Seconds. Sloppy has 3, which means that Just Chillin, who's going to go for a move down the inside here on Sloppy. This is a beautiful attempt for an overtake here. He's going to be on the outside for the next corner, but if he can hold the pace, which he's done, he is absolutely going to take off now. Hunting for Bird, DRS wing wide open. Just Chillin will be loving this race. Also bearing in mind, Yonti ahead has 5 seconds of penalties that are going to be applied. He's just under that limit, 4.9 as it stands. Just Chillin does not have any penalties of any kind, so he's absolutely loving life at the minute.
Under that 5-second window, so a potential P5 for him will be on the cards, and Martin G's going to have a slice of the party on Bird right now. He's gone a bit wide off the corner.
Penalties with Yawn looming in behind him. 8.4 is the gap between him and Yawn. Oh, he's just slipped through the inside in towards Cop's corner. Well, Martin G would have matched him, and then all he has to pass him physically on the track in order to gain that position.
Meanwhile, someone that's doing very well up front is Bremmel's trying to catch up to Coffee, and Yonti's trying to put the pressure on him as well, but Martin G and Bird are going at it once again. Great today. He's going to come across the line. He's going to take the win here at RNL for the British Grand Prix. But we still have Bird and Martin G going and fighting to the line. Go! Oh! First made a mistake!
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the German Grand Prix here in the Rwagnation League. You've seen the F2 cars, now it's time for the Big Boy League in the F1 cars. I'm Ben Raggan McConnell, and joining me once again is the legendary Jess Games 95. How are you doing?
Guten Tag, Ben. How are you?
I am grand, thank you. I'm looking at the standings, it's just getting even more exciting. And Nick Turn's currently topping the driver standings with 136 points. 4 points away is Mizzo in P2. After winning Britain last week, he's loving life much more than he had before. Brownie's currently the best of the rest, though, down in P11. He's only got 26 points. He's right there with his teammate Beaker. Remember, the top 10 drivers are the ones that get to go into, are secured, in the into the next season without having to need to fight for their lives. Those outside of the top 10 are the ones who need to scrap all the way to the end. With Mercedes leading the constructors as well, it's going to be a huge factor, but that is the track they're going to be attacking today. Germany, it's a beautiful circuit, tons of DRS opportunities, tons of slipstream opportunities, and with obviously the C4, C3, and C2 tyres being available, the strategy is going to play a huge factor. And the areas we're looking for in terms of action is going to be sort of turn 1, as we saw in the European Racing Series where Duxie B and Beaker had a little collision there, and it ended up being Duxie B that got ended up losing out there. He lost out quite considerably. He is going to fall down the order in that result. And the other one is turn 6. This is quite a crucial one. This is the hairpin one, the one that we need to really focus about. As Fragioka and Beaker in the same racing league in European Racing Series, there was contact between the two of them. It was only a little bit, but it was enough for them to make some very exciting racing through the hairpin, and Fragioka went for the outside line. Now, we are loading up into the qualifying. This is a short qualifying, not like you saw in the F2s where you had one shot. This is short qualifying, which means 18 minutes of qualifying run for you to decide what tyres you're going to start your race on. But on top of that, who has the biggest cojones through turn 1 effectively?
Yes, indeed, and due to the fact that it's a step softer than what we saw last week in Silverstone, the tyre wear is going to be definitely more crucial here in Germany. But we'll see. It's not as tyre wear heavy as other tracks, so it'll be interesting.
It will be. It'll be very exciting. But it's a dry German circuit today, at least for the qualifying. We don't yet know what the race is going to look like, so we'll see if it's going to be a little bit of a downpour. And we might get a little hint towards it in terms of the tyre strategies that they go for. But before we see any cars leave the pit lane, although there's already one on the way out, two on the way out, Martin G's retired because he's been... he's got a quali ban, as you saw that in that highlight clip there at the very end. There was contact between him and Bird. It did end up being Martin G that caused that and obviously got penalised for it. It looked really bad in that clip. It looked like Martin G did it intentionally, but when you actually sit down with the drivers and understand what happened. So what happened was Martin G was trying to get the inside for the final chicane, but hadn't judged the gap well enough. So when he turned in, he just went straight into the back of Bird and sent Bird off into the wall. And yeah, I mean, he's still obviously being penalised as a result of it, but it wasn't intentional, which is why he's still here and racing hard, and sadly will have to start at the back of the grid.
Yeah, none of us want to start at the back of the grid on any race, but turn 1 is always chaos usually sometimes in Germany, so maybe it might be a saviour for Martin G as he gets to avoid hopefully most of it.
Yeah, exactly. Now, before we see some lap times come in, I want to ask you what your top 3 predictions are going to be at the end of the qualifying.
Oh, it's going to be a tough one, but I'm going to say Mizzo P1. Mizzo's looking very strong recently in the Rwagnation League, so I'm going to put Mizzo P1. And I'm going to put Yonti... I'm not going to put Yonti. I'm going to put Nick Turn P2 and Yonti P3.
Okay. That's pretty fair, to be fair. I mean, Mizzo won last week. He was riding on a wave of momentum and serious emotion as well. It was so good to see how well he did. Is this his track? I mean, I raced with him earlier yesterday, I think it was, on this track in some open lobbies, and he is rapid. There's no doubt about that. Is he the fastest car out of these lot? That's the question. For me, I want to say no, just so we can see the likes of like Nick Turn actually put it together. And I think Nick Turn will potentially take the top step today, at least for the qualifying. So I'm going to go at Nick Turn, Mizzo. I just don't know who to go for a P3. A Nick Turn, Mizzo, Lemon. There you go.
I think a lot of people in the chat would like that, Ben, because there's a lot of Lemon supporters in the chat. So
yep.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I think we've got solid predictions of both of us. So let's see if any of us are right.
We could be wrong. That being the main factor. Jorn's actually set the fastest lap time so far, as it's the only lap time so far, with a 1:12.417. Good time on the board as it stands, but it will be beaten, especially by those that are on the softs. Surprisingly, though, all of them are still in the pits that are on the softs, so we won't be seeing that anytime soon. Bird is currently on an out lap. And Jess, we need to do a lap rundown. Are you feeling up to doing a lap of Germany with Bird?
I need to get the track map up before I do that.
Right, well,
for all the turns.
I'm going to give it a good go myself now. So this is the DRS straight up towards turn 1. Very tricky to get right, and it will result in a lot of penalties as we come through the race. Another DRS straight here in the run up towards turn 2. Brake as you get to the green bit. Make sure you get yourself down to gear 2 to get a nice rotation. Quick short shift up to gear 3 and get a good solid run, as this is going to be the most important area of the track throughout the entirety of this Grand Prix. Such a long DRS straight, such a long opportunity to get slipstream. You need to brake really hard coming into this hairpin. Being on the inside will be the area you need to focus on the most. Now you got to run up here to a quick right-hander. You won't be releasing any gas here at all. You'll be looking to clip the apex as tight as possible and then brake just before you get to that tarmac area on the right-hand side. Clip the apex quite nicely. Run off wide. Come in to the inside for the double corner there. Little chicane. Make sure you get so close to this wall here and downshift just once. Don't need to brake, just downshift once and just flick the car right on in. Brake as soon as you see the the safety car marker board on the right hand side. Clip the apex, get a good slingshot run through. Now, make sure you run left as deep as possible. Flick over to the gear 4, get a tight line for the the last corner now, and the home straight run to cross the line. And he goes a 1:13.385, which is currently P8.
Good lap time from Bird. We've seen a very good performance last week before he crashed, and I wonder if he's gonna forget what happened at the end and concentrate on Germany, because I'm sure he's gonna be rapid in the race after what we've seen what happened in Britain. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed for him.
Now, I fear I may have made a mistake. I fear I may have overlooked someone. Buemels. So last time I saw him race on this track properly, he was the fastest guy on the track that I've ever seen ever. He was just insane on this track. He was actually putting one of the esports drivers in a position where they didn't know what to do with themselves, and currently he's done a 1:12.855, but that was quite some time ago. There was a situation where we were still in the pre-patch. We hadn't yet got to a position where the drivers knew exactly what the setups were, so whether or not it works out well for him, I don't know. Hopefully he can deliver, but obviously it's too late now for me to change my predictions. I may have to eat my own socks if I've done it wrong and if I have overlooked Buemels, but
I think we both did.
Yeah, well, we'll both have to eat our socks in that case.
Yeah, because I didn't put Bremels in my predictions at all, because he's P3 at the moment. So
yeah,
I think
and that's my worry.
I think I've got none right. I've got Mizzo in the top 3 anyway. That's it.
Well, and Nick Turn has been out earlier and done a lap, but it wasn't enough. He invalidated, and so now he's going again. This time, needs to make sure he doesn't run wide. He's okay. Hasn't invalidated. Not this time, at least. He's running mode 4 a lot longer than I thought he would be, but still really solid entry through that corner, which means he's going to get a good exit and an opportunity now to get himself right near the top, maybe even pit Bjorn at the post. Yeah. And he's backed out.
Yeah, he's backed out. I think he wants to go into the pits. I think he wants to get on a fresh set of rubber straight away and go on a set of mediums or possibly softs. I don't know. Probably mediums I would go for him for his next in anyway, depending on how much mediums he has in his pocket. And since a lot of people are on the hards already, I think it's a clear indication that it's not going to be a wet start. It's definitely going to be a dry start. So that's...
I think in the minute the drivers are pretty much just going for the hard tires because the softs are just not a viable tire to do on this track. We're looking at mediums to hards ultimately. For those that are in the top 10, they're going to be going mediums to hards. You may get the odd red herring who's going to go softs just to get themselves further up and give themselves the opportunity. Oh, big wobble there from Rainbow on the exit. Does cross the line though, 1:13.226. Puts him currently P9, but still not yet a high enough. Copy though. Really making a name for himself. 1:12.612.
Yeah, so he's in second place, not that far behind Jorn in first place, who's got a really good lap time on the hards, I must say. No one's on the softs yet, and no one's on the medium, so they're just getting a feel for it at the moment. But if we're seeing good lap times on the hards already, we could see a lot of times going towards the end, and it'll be very quick lap times as well.
Indeed, Yalta currently sat down in P15, yet to put a lap on the board, but still not someone you want to rule out at all. He has got some incredible pace, but it's usually when he's done a lot of practicing. Some drivers are able to just come into the track and just smash it. Yalta is the kind of driver who needs to put a fair bit of time in work on the corners he struggles at. I mean, the main ones, obviously, like I said before, is going to be turn 1. That's the area I expect to be seeing a lot of penalties, and we might even see a DNF or 2, especially if we get wet weather situation.
Yeah, I think so as well. And these guys really got to give it their all, and not many people practice for the wet. So if wet comes into play, then it's going to cost a few people grid time. Bernard's tired.
And that was exactly where I said it was going to be. You know, the turn 1, he just lost it coming through, lost the back end, went over to the inside, and bam, off he goes out of this qualifying session. So P13 is the best scenario he's going to get, and ultimately he's going to drop to be right next to mine G as it stands. Marco will more than likely improve, especially when he switches to mediums. I think Bird is in trouble now.
Yep, he is in trouble. Hopefully he can do a comeback, as Jorna's got faster again to a 112.2. And Nickturn's gone faster as well. I think it was Nickturn, then it was Jorn as well. So it's if I look at the gaps, it's about 58 thousandths of a second. These two are absolutely flying right now, and the gap between Nickturn and his teammate Copied around about 0.3 of a second.
Yep. Indeed, I've seen yellow flags in Sector 2, and it was looking like it was a Williams driver. I think he was just getting out of the way, though. Yeah, he is.
It was
Nick Turn. So Yolta coming up now for a fast lap, the first one for him of this session. Oh, he ran a bit deep there. He might have invalidated. He's down in mode 3. I don't think he has then. He's got to have enough ERS to take him through the rest of this lap. This is the most crucial area for me. I feel like if in my personal race, this is the area I struggle the most. I lose so much time here because it's just such a long double right-hander. And how's he going to fare? He goes P3, 112.607. A really good time, but still 0.4 behind at Nickturn and Jorn.
Yeah, he's got some catching up to do at the moment, but you never know. There's people that make mistakes, and since the top 2 are extremely close, then anything can happen. And if they butcher it in like one corner, one sector, it could really cost them.
Yep, it could indeed. Fossetti's managed to get himself back in. He had issues. It looked like.
Was it Fossetti's last race? I swear it was Fossetti's last race last week.
It was, but he's a reserve driver, and sadly his the second driver can't race today, so Fossetti had to fill in again. So yeah, two races in a row he can do it.
He's done a Massa.
Yeah, he has. He's pulled a Massa, hasn't he? Really? I didn't even think of that. Actually, that's very well pointed out.
Yeah.
I feel like we've made a big mistake, me and you. We've overlooked we have completely. I mean, as it stands, we've still got 6 minutes 40 seconds remaining of the session, so there's still tons of opportunity, especially now that the drivers are switching to the mediums. But the track has not yet finished evolving. But Jorn improved his time with a 112.216 on 6-lap-old hard tires.
I only just realised that.
So the fact that he's able to, 5-lap-old, sorry. The fact that he's able to do that with such used tyres, granted they're hard and they last quite a long time, but he still managed to do that, is tremendous. I'm worried that I may have overlooked him. Beaker, for the first time in a long time, is actually putting in some incredible lap times for him, bear in mind. P3 right now, 112.517.
Yeah. We haven't seen Beaker at the best in the last few races, but in trying to get points. But he's been involved in some good battles as well. So hopefully, if he's up there, he could challenge and see the form that we've seen when he won his title back in is it season 1?
Season
it was
1,
the
yeah.
first season. So yeah, I hope he gets into form somehow. But
well, I spoke to him about it earlier because I was saying to him that you need to get your act in order quickly because, you know, you're a league coordinator here and I need a league coordinator in the race who can actually do the invites and also actually host the lobby. He's currently sat P12, and we said before that in the top 10, they get to go through into the next season without having to worry about qualifying or anything like that. Those outside of the top 10 need to fight for their life in order to stay in the league. And what I mean by that is there's a promotion relegation series that happens at the end of every season where we work out who the remaining 10 drivers are going to be to get involved with the drivers ready for what will now be season 4 next season. Beaker's currently sat P12. That's concerning because he's not really looking at all in a good shape. I've seen him DNF so many races, and that's what I'm worried about, is that he's not going to make it. But the one reassuring thing he said to me was We are now reaching the area of the calendar where he feels most comfortable. From Germany onwards is the area where he seems to be the most comfortable. Is his comfortable enough for him to be able to beat the others on the track? I think we're only going to have to wait and see. Today, though, is currently looking pretty solid. 3/10 off the pace is where he currently sits. And we've only just gone to medium tyres, some of which are actually coming to do a hot lap, one of which is Yonti.
Yeah, and I wonder what the delta is going to be on this track. I think it's quite a bit of a big delta, so we will see a difference between the hards and the mediums, as everyone's on the mediums now that's still running, apart from Gooby, as Yonti is improved on the medium tyres, but not quite a lot than I was expecting, to be honest, because I thought he could get into the 111s on those medium tyres, but he just didn't get there.
Yeah, and it's quite worrying, to be truthful. You'd have thought that Yonti would have been in a position where he could really nail it and get himself into the low 111s on these medium tyres, but 112.032 is where he currently sits. He might go again, and I've been told that rain is coming, which I think is why a majority of the drivers are out on the track, and at Nick turn runs deep, he's lost that lap time, so he's going to have to reset and go again. He also needs to pray that the rain, if there is going to come, doesn't come now, because if it does, he will struggle, and it'd be such a shame. He's P3 as it stands with a 112.275, and yeah, he's not one that's done a fast time on the mediums at all, but still, disaster.
Yeah, and I always get caught up if it gets dry to wet qualifying, because you just never know when the rain's going to come, and I'm just like, oh, what tyres you going to be on? And they started on the hards. I'm almost certain they would do their first lap on the medium just so they can get a representative lap time, but I think most people just shot themselves in the foot and kind of proved us wrong that it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a dry qualifying all the way because everyone started on the hards, but no.
Well, I think they're still going to push for the dry tyre. It looks like the Stellar is going to be a dry start anyway. Yellow flag sector 1. Somebody else that we need to keep focused on is Just Chillin'. If you remember last week in Britain, he had a really solid run. He was one of the few drivers that didn't get a penalty and actually managed to get, I think it was P4 at the end of the race. It was, really solid work from Just Chillin' to be able to deliver such a stellar performance and get some important points so that he could secure his spot in that top 10. It's just now the likes of Copy, for example, who've just suddenly picked up pace, and then Buemels, who's just improved even more. 111.998 was what Copy did, and then you got 111.923 is what Buemels has done. The worrying bit is that's only just better than Jorn, and he's about to start a hot lap.
Yeah, and I think Jorn has chosen the best time to do it because you can see the clouds are starting to form. It's getting darker as well. Oh, but he's got so much traffic in front of him though, Ben. He's got Rainbow as well, but Rainbow's his teammate, so hopefully Rainbow's going to get a bit of a toe. Oh, that was close, but luckily Rainbow moved out of the way. But that helped him quite a lot, especially on this straight there. As Lemon, 111.7. Rainbow's lagging so bad on my screen. Hopefully it's not lagging for Jorn, otherwise that would have cost him a little bit.
Well, he's currently still committing to this lap. He's not backing out. I think he realises it's do or die time. For Jorn, 111.745 was Lemon's fast time. He's now raised the bar for everyone else to try and beat, one of which who's looking untouchable at the minute is Jorn. If he gets pole position here, this would be the best result I've seen Jorn perform pretty much ever, as Mizzo improves. 111.553, still riding the wave of emotion and momentum from British Grand Prix. It's now Jorn's opportunity. One corner left to go. Has he done enough to secure the pole position spot? It's going to be tight, but it's not close enough. 111.727, and there's still drivers out there that could improve.
Nick Turn can't improve though. He's bottle set to 1, so he's going to start no higher than P4 at the moment. Bremels is still going. I'm just going to see who else. Sloppy is not going again. He's going into the pits. I'm just seeing, Beaker's done a Vettel. Beaker's done exactly the same pretty much, but he caught the car much more than what Vettel did. I'm just seeing Yeltet's on the lap at the moment. Is he? No, he's not. I think most of these guys backed out.
Yeltet almost lost the entire car there. I mean, Tokyo drifted into the pits, kept it together. Rainbow, though, is 4/10 faster, but that's still not going to be enough. But that's only just after finishing the hairpin. So if he carries on improving, he should bring himself into the top 10 and relatively quite high. Might be able to compete with the likes of Copy. potentially. But like you said, Rainbow's having issues. He's teleporting around a fair bit, so that will be hindering him more than he would necessarily like.
Bremmel's crossed the line. Is he going to... Oh, I don't think it's going to be enough. He just had a little bit of a slide in the final corner. No, it's not.
Yeah, but look at the gaps, though. Look how close the gaps are from leader.
Look at that.
So you've got 7... Oh, Fossetti. So, I mean, he was the one I was expecting to actually put a soft tyre on, and he's done that. I didn't expect him to necessarily put himself right next to his teammate Mizzo, but the 111.624 is really going to play havoc now for those drivers behind. He might actually break a gap big enough for Mizzo to run away. That's huge.
It's a Mercedes? It's a McLaren one too, so that's really going to help Mizzo, and Mizzo's done me proud because I've got one prediction right, just the one.
Yeah, I think, I mean, I agreed with the Mizzo, but I thought Nickturn would be able to do better, and I thought Lemon would do better. Yon, I definitely overlooked. Yon. I think he would have been in a situation where... I mean, I suppose it's not really fair, because if we'd have taken Fossetti out of the equation, if you take the soft runner out, Lemon would have been P3, and I would have got 1 and 3, so I would have been pretty much on the money, but I'm not. And I have to take that into consideration, as Mizzo is sitting as your pole sitter today with a 111.553 and his teammate right behind him on soft tyres nonetheless, but still a 111.624 in P2. Yon P3 with Lemon chasing him in P4, and the gaps are so small between them. And Nickton there in P5, Buemo's P6, Sloppy P7, Copy P8, Yonti P9, just chilling P10. Racebook is the best of the rest with Rainbow in 12, and it's just getting too close for comfort. I think a lot of these drivers are going to be struggling. Are we going to see turn 1 damage?
I'm going to predict yes. I'm not being mean or anything like that, but we've seen things happen in Canada. We've seen how things happen in France, and Germany's a lot harder into turn 1. Maybe turn 2, perhaps, maybe as well. Yeah. I'm going to predict that. And I think due to the fact Fossetti really needs to get a good result tonight and help his teammate. He's a reserve, but I think his main focus is for the team. So he really needs to get the toe. He really needs to help Mizzo with the toe at times, and also help keep the other drivers behind. And because of that, I think Mizzo's going to take the win today. But I'm not sure about the top. I think Yorn will probably get P2. And then I am going to see Bremels really start to get a comeback, and he's going to get P3, I think.
Yeah, more than possible. I think the main thing I'm worried about is Fossetti holding the pack up so much, because he's on the soft tyres, and he's going to be great for the first few laps, but his pace in general is just not quite as on par as those drivers behind him. As you can see, Mizzo, who is his teammate, set a faster lap time than Fossetti did on medium tyres, whilst Fossetti was on the faster tyre. And you'd have thought that with him being on that faster tyre, he'd have been able to just smash a lap time faster than anyone else, but he just couldn't. And that's ultimately what it's come down to now, is that he's sat behind his teammate. But that actually works wonders for McLaren. He can hold the whole pack back if he can drive a good enough defensive drive. It's just entirely reliant on him making sure he doesn't have any contact with the drivers and not causing any sort of collisions or dramas, because if he does, he's going to find himself actually more penalised than is actually worth. Either way, Fossetti is completely sacrificing his race here. And before we get back to the grid start, I need to ask you, Jess, what's your top 3 predictions for the end of the race?
I've already said that.
What did you say it was, sorry?
It was Mizzo, Yorn, and Bremels.
See, I wanna go with you on that, but I can't. I just can't. I think Mizzo, Yorn is right, but I think it's just going to be too hard to look away from Lemon. I think Lemon has got the P3 at least in the bag. Maybe potentially beat Yorn to P2, but Yorn has just been looking so good. It's just whether or not he can keep that consistency, and he has been so far consistent in every other race I've seen him in. Can he do it today? That's the question. Can he do it today? So I'm going to go Mizzo, Yorn, Lemon. That's my final prediction for the race.
I'll take that.
I'm nervous.
I'll take that. I'm nervous for these drivers, to be honest, and to see these guys will make. We've got a 19-car grid as well, so all 19 cars in turn 1 is going to be interesting.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
It's going to be exciting. Do you think Fossetti is going to get the drive off the start that'll actually put him into the race lead? I don't think he will. I think he's going to go for team orders, to be honest. He's going to have to. So. I think that realistically that's the best strategy there for McLaren, and we're about to find out if he's going to do exactly that. The lights are on, And Mizzo needs to get the start of champions to be able to defend himself from everyone else behind. And it's lights out, and it's time to get underway with the German Grand Prix. Mizzo has managed to get a good start, but Jorn has already got past Falsetti, although Falsetti's on the inside. A little bit of a touch there between the two, but still keeping it together. Lemon's trying to get on the inside of him as well. He's actually got the inside for Falsetti. This is going to be a little drive through. If Falsetti gets a good line, he might be able to hold Lemon back, and he doesn't. Lemon has jumped 2 drivers on the start and now up in a P2.
Brilliant drive from Lemon, but Falsetti's going to definitely come back at him already, and it's not even DRS. But I saw a Renault, a Bremels, I think, lost a bit of his end plate, so he has a bit of damage. But, look at this battle, and we got the Toro Rosso of Jorn coming back as well. There's just so much going on, and we've got the Renault still coming at it, even if he's got an end plate damage. And Lemon is just not giving up. He wants that position back, and that's allowing Mizzo to pull away from these guys.
The strategy has worked out massively for McLaren. I expected this to happen, to be honest, and it's exactly what's happened. Mizzo has pulled away due to the effort that Falsetti's put in here to hold him back, and he makes a big wobble there. He almost lost the car completely. Copy and Just Chillin' are scrapping as well. Just Chillin' gets on the inside through the carousel, and he's done it. He's still alongside Copy. Copy's going to make sure he gets the inside for the next 2. But if Just Chillin' can hold on to the back of Copy, when we get onto the next long straight, Copy is going to be just dust.
Yeah, I think so as well. Just Chillin' doing very well as well. And Nick Turn was, I think, involved in an issue. He's going to the pits. So I'm guessing he might have had front wing damage then. I'm just going to see. Yeah, he has. He's got front wing damage. So he might have had contact earlier on that we didn't see. But that's really going to hinder his race after a very good result last week.
Yeah. Falsetti then does fall down now as a mistake through turn 1. Does cost him to completely rotate the car. So there'll be no more sneaky McLaren tactics here as Racebug and Blue are having a good scrap. Blue gets a nice send it down the inside. Racebug tries to go for the cutback, but as a result end up running to the side of the Renault. Just a touch, no damage, just a little bit of a scare there, but it also does allow Martin G, who has been driving hard from the back of the grid. 7 places gained. He's up in a P11 and he's already setting his sights on Racebug.
Yeah, he is, and I was saying earlier on that starting at the back would probably benefit him, and he is, as he does get past Racebug quite convincingly, and he's up into the points now. So his next challenge is Blue, and Martin's on those medium tyres, Blue's on the hard, so surely he could possibly try and attempt for a move here. As Falsetti retired, no!
Retired and left very swiftly, and Rainbow's actually losing positions left, right and centre. He was trying to fight Racebug, trying to get the position on him, he couldn't. Yolta's now on the back of him, looking through turn 1. We have now got DRS enabled. Obviously the detection line was before the home straight, which is why you can't see it, but Yolta's going for an inside move in towards turn 2. This is going to be a beautiful exit if he gets it. He's got the slipstream and he's going to have DRS from the Haas ahead. And there's also changes of position up front as well, as Jorn's managed to get past Lemon. I just want to keep an eye on this little scrap here for the final points position. As you can see, Martin G is going for the inside line on Blue. Very tight on the inside for it, but he gets such a good execution there. Blue is down into P10. Yolta has not actually been able to get past Racebug, although he has got past Rainbow.
Yeah, but we got the 2 Red Bulls fighting for position as well. We've got Bird who's got past Marco, and Marco's made a huge mistake there. So that's costed him, and I think Yap Gooby's gone ahead of him as well. So I think he's just lost grip on those tyres, and possibly due to what happened earlier as well.
Yeah, Gooby has wing damage, sorry, on the right-hand side. Is missing an end plate, so any left-hand turn will be much harder for him. Which, yeah, in general is going to be a rough ride nonetheless, but still, he's going to try and persevere, maybe even come into the pits. Wemmel's got a penalty. That's not good news at all. Just Chillin' under attack from Yonti. Just Chillin's actually holding on to the back of Copy. And interestingly, the gap between Lemon and Jorn has actually been increasing. It's not really dropped down. Now we have DRS. I mean, he's got mode 0 on his ERS, which tells me he's just trying to manage it a little bit, nurse it together, get onto the back of Jorn and apply pressure so that he has to use it to defend with, whereas Yonti is in a position where he can just attack as much as he wants on Just Chillin'.
Yeah, we got 2 great battles right now, and we're going to see who's going to come out on top between Jorn and Lemon, and also Just Chillin' and Yonti. And I think Blue's lost quite a few positions from Racebug and Yeltek going past turn 7 now, as Blue, he's going to try and get a comeback. And is it going to be free wide? No, it's not. I hope it wasn't going to be free wide, because otherwise it was going to be a disaster class, I must say. As we got Racebug, Yeltek, Blue and Rainbow there. battle for the points. Now that's going to get very feisty indeed as Yeltek, as Blue went off a little bit there as he's fighting with Rainbow behind as Rainbow just gets past him.
Well, just about. He's still hanging in there. He's trying to get around the outside, but he's got the inside for the final two corners, and that's the one that matters the most. Blue does have wing damage. He's missing the right end plate, and that's just cost him so much. He doesn't have the grip he needs. He's understeering like crazy, and as a result, you might see him get some more penalties. Depending on whether or not he can maintain everything through. His Blue's actually just torn past Rainbow in an area of the track you wouldn't necessarily want to overtake for because you're going to lose DRS, although he's managing to just keep it together. Has he got it? No, he doesn't. So he's going to lose it again now. But I want to keep an eye on Lemon because he's right here on the back of Yawn. And that's actually done and dusted. Just chilling. Can't get past. Yolta and Raceberg scrapping again. Yolta's got the inside line into the hairpin. Yolta needs to cut him off just about. And he has. He's got better exit. And Yolta now holds on to P10.
There's just so much going on, Ben. It's just hard to keep up at times. We don't know what to watch. You did a Yeltek and Raceberg. Yonti just chilling. And now Lemon and Yawn. It's just absolutely crazy, but this is what we want in the Rwagnation League. We want people scrapping for position, and it's just great to see.
Yeah, we actually have Rainbow going again now on Blue. They're going side by side through one of the toughest corners here, but he's managed to do it. He's actually got the drive throughout, but Blue does have the inside. That's going to make it so much harder for Rainbow. We've seen this twice now. Rainbow now has to hold it together through the final two corners. He's done it full car length ahead now. That's P12 in the pocket of Rainbow, and you can see Bird already sizing Blue up.
Yeah, he wants to forget what happened and early on in the race and really start to come back. And Beaker and Martin G are having a scrap into turn 4, and Martin G, I think, just takes the position from Beaker. Beaker holding on for a little bit, but it was Martin G that had the edge on those medium tyres. Martin G is on a roll.
Oh, Just Chillin's actually going for an attack on Copy. Copy's got the inside, but Just Chillin, I've seen this before, and I'm not going to see it this time because Copy's just come right across the track to shut the door on Just Chillin. Still kept it together, though. Still actually alongside of him, and if he can get his full car to the left-hand side of Copy's, he might be able to get the inside. He tried to look for it, couldn't get it. Copy holds on to P5. Just Chillin is in trouble from Yonti behind.
Yep, he is. He's really going to pick up the pressure now, and sometimes pressure may get the best of him, but hopefully not for Just Chillin, and Just Chillin's also on the attack as well. So if Just Chillin does make the move, then Yonti is going to say, see you later. He's going to try and make the move that Just Chillin probably might not do.
Well, the worry that we've got for Just Chillin is that even if he passes Copy, he's going to be 4 seconds behind Wemmels, which means he's got no DRS or slipstream to help him protect from Copy. And this being such a major area, it's so hard. Oh, okay, Yonti. I thought Just Chillin got the penalty, but no, it's Yonti that's got the penalty. Just Chillin's the guy you can rely on for consistency and cleanliness. I don't want to jinx him or anything, but he needs to continue doing that. And this time, is it your Just Chillin's time to overtake? He's going for it. Actually, 1 second. Where's Lemon and Yawn? No, they're not going to be able to do anything. So let's go back to Just Chillin and Copy. Just Chillin's just a bit too far back. He's also worried about Yonti behind. Yonti can't do anything about this. And this time, Just Chillin has no inside line to attack with. So Copy holds on to P5.
Yeah, which is what he needs to do, and it's pretty much a DRS train between 5th and 9th as Yonti, well, look at this. Yonti is on fire to try and defend from Martin G. Just hold it on there to P7 there. Martin G was on the attack quite a lot there, but I think Martin G just had it there into the tricky turn 12, and Martin G is just another position for him, P7. Is he going to get Just Chillin though? It's going to be tough, but seeing how he's performed so far this race, I think he can possibly do it.
This man is really targeting the whole field right now to just pass. And not just pass, he's going to pass the cleanest you've ever seen. 11 places gained so far for ING, currently up now into P7. And it's not like he's chosen a ridiculous tyre strategy. He's gone for the mediums, which is a great tyre strategy for him to go on. The only thing I would have said, though, is that the hards would probably have been a better solution for him. However, Just Chilling now, the closest he has been for a long time on Copy. Martin G also trying to get involved in this little scrap as well. I don't know how Martin G is going to try and capitalize on both of these, but Just Chilling's got the inside. Martin G's actually got the inside as well to be alongside Copy. If he gets a better exit, which he doesn't, then he could have got Copy. Copy now falls to P6, but has to keep an eye very firmly locked on to those mirrors, as Martin G could send it at any opportunity.
Yeah, knowing him, he's really good at going for moves, but we don't want to see what happened in Britain for him. So he's learned from his mistake, and hopefully is going to try and make for a good move if Copy doesn't do too well. As I think it's really down to the setup on this track as well as the skill as well. Because I know you'll be on those tyres for so many laps, but it's really down to if you get the setup high and mighty really on how long you can push on those. And I think Martin G has nailed this setup, and that's probably why he's at a higher position, and also his skill as well. He's mega quick, and just Chillins, I think, he's got the first penalty, I think.
That's his first penalty, yeah, but it's just he was the one I was relying on to not get any sort of penalties at all.
Beaker's got a penalty.
Yeah, speeding in the pit lane.
Typical Beaker.
Copy has got DRS to help him defend against Martin G, but Martin G just has so much more slipstream and has so much more power, and also has the priority for the inside line coming into the hairpin. Copy's going to try and hold him back. Not necessarily going to be able to do it as they come toe to toe, and they actually touch there for a little bit. Copy's got a really solid exit there, but Martin G has the inside for this one. If he can get a full car ahead here, he might be able to do it, and he has. Martin G secures P6. He's already trying to get onto the back of Just Chillin', who's realised how crucial it is that he breaks a 1 second lead now.
Yeah, he's got to. Just Chillin' really needs to start pushing, and you can see that he's starting to push. He's been saving his ERS, and he can start to push his ERS to make sure Martin G is behind him. Martin G is on the same ERS as well, though, bear in mind. So, Just Chillin' must have a very hard decision on his hands as well. But meanwhile, Yawn is still on the back of Lemon, as Lemon, I think, got past him earlier on. Yep. And Lemon is having a very good showing so far this race as well. So he's doing brilliant. And Mizzo, 1.4 seconds. So Mizzo's still doing what he needs to do.
Now, the undercut on this track is huge. This is an opportunity for you to really gain a place or two if you can pull it off. So Mizzo is going to have to try and think a step ahead, because you can't undercut if you're in the lead. The other thing you can do is protect yourself from the undercut by pitting earlier than you would normally do. The real worry and the sort of focus I'm thinking for Mizzo is Lemon and Yawn are really fast. He was lucky that Fossetti was able to help him break that 1 second gap, but that time is being destroyed right now from Lemon and Yawn just hunting him down. Also, Lemon and Yawn are just DRS slipstreaming each other to get onto the back of Mizzo, and that's helping them with the fastest laps over and over and over again. And that's why you see Mizzo start to feel the pressure applied to his shoulders. What can Mizzo do here? I really don't know.
As I think Lemon is almost breaking to the DRS, and we've got Rainbow and Bird fighting for a position. As I think Rainbow, just holds on to P11 for now. But yeah, this is crucial for Mizzo now. He's got to start pushing, because otherwise he's going to be challenging from Lemon behind, and if not Yawn as well. Maybe he was saving just a little bit too much. Oh, that is crucial for Yawn. Yep. 3 second time penalty. That's going to have a huge impact on this race if neither Mizzo or Lemon or even Bremels gets a penalty.
Exactly. Now, Beaker's race has pretty much been screwed. Obviously, he was on the hards, pitted, and went onto the mediums. He didn't really have much choice other than to do that. The focus at the minute is on Martin G, who's currently all over the back of Just Chillin', who doesn't have, doesn't have DRS or a great deal of ERS he wants to use to defend with. He's just going to have to try and just sit as close as he can to the back of Martin G. Copy's in a similar sort of position, but he can't do anything when it comes to Yonti. He's actually not really gained anything there. Just Chillin' now needs to ride the wave that is called Martin G. If he can ride that Martin G wave, he should be able to keep the gap that he's got currently to Yonti, but also crucially pull himself closer and closer to Buemels.
Yeah, which is I think crucial for Martin G at this stage. But I think he's probably going to wait until he pits. I think, but I don't think it'll be too long before Just Chillin' tries to see if he can get the move. He has more ERS to play with, so why not? But anything can happen. The pit window will be opening soon, so we'll just see how these guys play it on in terms of pit strategy. Who will blink first, and we'll just find out, I guess.
I think it's going to be a tough one. I think Just Chillin' should blink first, though. He's losing time to Martin G, and Yonti's brought himself into this so much more than he had before. It seems like Just Chillin's tyres have started to just fall away from him, and I think if he gets in now, he should be able to take the hards to the end of this race, as Rainbow's sizing up Bird. Bird's had a bit of a teleport there, and that's actually caused Rainbow to just glitch through him a little bit. I think it's actually Rainbow that's having these problems. Rainbow is close enough to attack. Yawn is also in a position where he's looking for Lemon now.
Yeah, this is going to really start to be very important for Yawn, especially because of his penalty, so he's really got to start pushing. And Rainbow and Bird are fighting again for P11 as we've got Rainbow really trying to hold on to the position. But I think Bird has just got to the outside and played that strategy call really well. And he stays P11 for now. So we've got a Red Bull versus Toro Rosso. Sister versus sister. Sibling rivalry in real life just never go well. I wonder if that's the case in RNL. But we'll see as we've got our first pit of Lemon. So he's going to go for the undercut.
He is, and Yonti's trying to do a similar sort of feature as well. He's currently P8. Well, he was P7, just dropped to P8 as a result of that going into the pits. He's going to be going to the hard compound tyre and looking for that one-stop strategy all the way to the end of this race, unless rain suddenly picks into this, which I don't think it is. I mean, those skies look pretty clear to me. And I'm surprised that Just Chillin' hasn't tried to do the same thing, to be honest. He needs to think again a step ahead now. If he wants to get the position back from Martin G, or even potentially get a position on Buemels, he has to get into the pits, get onto those hard tyres. And because of the fact that the undercut is just so huge here, Just Chillin' needs to think 3 steps ahead.
Yeah, I think that's what he needs to do at this point. And we can see the Toro Rosso and the Red Bull still scrapping again. But yeah, it is at this time where the hards really start to come to his own. And if Lemon can produce some good laps these next 2 laps, then that's going to put pressure on the guys in front as well, in particularly Mizzo, to try and stay ahead, because we couldn't get a battle on our hands. And speaking of Mizzo, he's going into the pits right now. Where is Lemon currently? He's just past turn 12. So I think Mizzo will probably be ahead just about, but we'll see. I will just see how obviously we won't know how quick Lemon is on this lap because he went to the pits. We'll know in the next lap how quicker he is. And he's coming across traffic a little bit there. We'll see as they come out of the pits. Oh! I think Mizzo's done it. Yeah, Mizzo's done it. But how? 1.1 seconds.
Well, it's close because he's got Yolta that's actually separating the 2 cars. Mizzo couldn't have asked for a better situation here. This is now Lemon in trouble. He wasn't able to make the undercut work so well. And it's a similar sort of scenario for Yonta. I mean, yes, you've not yet seen the drivers ahead of him actually pit as well. So you're not actually worrying too much for Yonta, but he's got an opportunity to really push himself as hard as he possibly can. And I think ultimately the undercut strategy didn't work out for Lemon. It's now, is Mizzo going to be able to maintain pace? Because Lemon's gap is just closing in on him.
He is. He's just closing up on the Yeltec. And these hards are not going to last for the whole race. So Yeltec really needs to get a move on. Because otherwise, it's one of those things. You really don't want to fight for position for 1-0 on fresher tyres. Because you're going to hold them up. And most importantly, you're gonna have worn tyres and you're gonna lose so much time. You're gonna lose so many positions at the end. We've got Just Chillin' in the pits as well. He must have watched us or read our mind or something, as he's gonna try and make sure he gets the undercut from Martin G.
Oh, Yonti's actually done the undercut perfectly. This is an example of what I was saying. Because look, where's Just Chillin'? There he is. He's gone. So Yonti was behind Just Chillin' before. And now Just Chillin's got nothing he could do about it. He's just lost a position to Nick Turn. He's lost a position to Blue. Bear in mind, these guys have got yet to pit anyway. But still, Just Chillin has not been able to do the pit stop strategy perfectly. You got Yolta and Lemon. Lemon's just past Yolta, actually. And already, Lemon is breathing on the neck of Mizzo. Net race lead is about to be scrapped for as we get to the end of this lap. Starting the next one, I think we're going to see Lemon really push Mizzo to the limit.
Yeah, I think so as well. Other battles happening on track. We've got Beaker scrapping for P13 towards Blue with those tyres as well. We also got Racebug and Brambles. Brambles getting past Racebug as well. But yeah, this is crucial for Lemon. I think Mizzo, needs a wake-up call. He might be called napping at this rate. He's got to start pushing, and he's got more ERS than Lemon. So I don't know. But anyway, we've got Martin G and Copy in the pits. It's not going to hinder Mizzo, as they already go ahead of him anyway. But it's going to see if the undercut is probably not helped Just Chillin'. We'll just see. I don't think it has. So I'm almost certain Martin G's going to be ahead, but we'll see. We'll just see Martin G comes out now. And so does Copy. Yeah, Martin G's ahead of Just Chillin'. So... yeah,
by a margin and a half. Look at that. 15th is where Just Chillin' is. Whether or not he had wing damage is a different story. I mean, I can only imagine that Just Chillin' had wing damage. to have really lost that much time under the undercut. I mean, Yonti was the one who gained the most from that. He undercut Martin G to get that position from him. So that in itself is a huge turn of events there. And now Martin G, who passed Yonti earlier, is going to have to do it all over again. And Mizzo did manage to break a 1 second margin when it came towards the big long straight up towards turn 4. And it's still half a second, not yet a position change as it stands. But Bird and Rainbow have been scrapping this entire race long, and it's still going now.
Yeah, it is great to see. They're on the hard tyres and they're still going for it. And they're catching up to Racebug as well. As we got and has of Yonti laying a little bit there, but I think Yonti needs to get past those two. But it's going to be hard because Bird and Rainbow are still fighting and they don't want to lose a position due to the fact that they're on fresher tyres, Yonti and Martin G. So I think, I don't know what Yonti will be thinking at this point. Will they let them race or will he want to get that position? As Bird almost trying to get past Rainbow, but I think Rainbow is close enough to Racebug. Then, and Yeltek, I think, Jorn's got past Yeltek. That's what he needs to do at the moment. So, yeah.
See, a mistake has been made. Oh, Beaker's retired.
I'll find out. Oh, that is turn 4, towards 5, the start of turn 5.
How did he lose, anything there?
And we got Rainbow and Racebug going at it. And I think Bird is going to be free wide going towards turn 8 and 9. All this is going to be very close to scrap for pretty much P6. And I think Rainbow just holds on. I think Racebug has just... Oh, Racebug made a mistake. So has he had damage? I don't know. And Martin G is coming into this as well.
It's getting spicy. Bird managed to get down the inside and actually slipped through and took 2 places away from him. Although Bird and Rainbow are still battling. Martin G is just trying to find any little gap he can. Yonti realizes how important it is he gets past these cars as soon as possible. That's why he's trying to find any possible gap he can get. And he's alongside Rainbow coming in towards turn 1. 2 wide in turn 1 does never go well for anybody. And all this has done is benefited Martin G, as Martin G is just going to sling past both drivers into turn 2. He just needs to worry about Yonti on the outside. If he can accelerate out of here perfectly, which it looks like he has, Yonti will be in big trouble down this back straight.
Martin G is a superstar. That was the move of the race so far. He's just going again. He's going to try and get past Bird now. He's a machine. Look at this.
Oh, wow.
That's just insane for Martin G. I mean, that's the best this is the best I've ever seen him drive, I think.
This is not the Rwagnation League. This is the Martin G showreel, as he is just passing everybody so quickly. He's really climbing up the order. I mean, look at his positions gained from the start. Remember, he started with a quali ban. He was started dead last and climbs up to P6 as it stands. 12 positions gained. The only other driver that's really competing with him for position changes is Yolta, who's not yet pit. So he is in a scenario where he is loving life right now. Martin G, you deserve an applause, mate.
Yeah, you do. I'm so happy for you, but I'm not going to say anything more because we said some good things about Bird last week, and boom.
Yeah.
So that's all we're going to say about Martin G unless he makes another move. But crucially, Rainbow, Nick Turn, Bird, Racebug in the pits. Rainbow and Racebug and Bird have...
1 second. Lemon's gone for a move on the race leader. He's just gone down the inside through the hairpin. He's managed to get it. And also, crucially for this, Jorn is right on the back of Mizzo. So Mizzo, who had such a nice first stint, he was very cozy, very happy in his race as it was, is now under threat for not only what was race lead, and he's lost it, he's now at risk of losing P2 as well, as Jorn is just watching them both scrap. And Yolta, yes, he's 18 laps in on his hards, and he's still in a position where he can attack. When it comes to the medium stint for him, he should be around about P sort of 8, 9, and he will be in a great place to gain a lot more than that.
Guys, can you please just stop? There's just so much going on. And 1 minute there's a battle, and then the next is the next battle. But this is what we like to see. Mizzo's going to see if he can try and get past Lemon again, but I doubt that's going to... I don't doubt that's going to work. Oh, Mizzo's got a penalty as well. So that's probably going to help Jorn. That is a fightful position now, because don't forget, Jorn's got a penalty as well.
I think they all have. I think all of the top 3 have a penalty as well. But now, Look at the situation that Mizzo is in. He knows he can pass Lemon here, or he could have passed Lemon if he wanted to, and I think he's still going to go for it. Lemon's going to go to the outside. He's not really going to do much about this as Mizzo goes for the inside to the hairpin. He's going to try and fight him wheel to wheel throughout, close the door on him on the exit. Has sort of done that. Lemon hasn't been able to really get a pace out of the corner. Jorn hasn't been able to do anything about this at all either. So Mizzo regains race lead, but it's going to be like this, I think, for the next 15 laps. 15 if you include the one that they're on right now, but I'm excited for the rest of this race. This is going to be insane.
And we're not even at the end. We're not even on like towards the final third of the race. That's just how good it is, and they're still fighting for the win at this stage of the race, which is great to see. I'm saying this is one of the races of the season so far. This is just mental.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, Rainbow is also scrapping with Marco as well. He might actually get himself back into the points position. I mean, he's on the medium tyres. He should really be up there actually scrapping with him. If he can gain that pace and get that momentum going for him, he should be able to do this. But the race lead battle just doesn't seem to want to end. This time, Jorn is closer than he has been for a while. Actually in a position where he could even get Mizzo in this with the double slipstream he's going to get from Lemon and Mizzo in front of him. Mizzo's a sitting duck here. Look at this. Lemon just cruises past him. Jorn's going to go for around the outside now as Mizzo comes in to shut the door on him. Is he going to be able to get the cutback on him? He's going for it. You can see he's trying to get a good solid exit, but he can't get it. Lemon takes the race lead. Mizzo defends beautifully from Jorn. And that's just another lap gone. We've got still 14 more laps to go.
Wow, look at this. A three-way scrap for the lead. Is this F1 2019 German Grand Prix all over again? It looks like it, except no rain.
I think it might be, actually. But I mean, you also have the scrap going on still for P10. There's also a Nickturn trying to get involved in this situation as well. Rainbow goes down the inside of Marco, managed to execute that perfectly, and Nickturn couldn't capitalize on it at all. He's trying his best, but nothing is going to change as it stands. And the race leaders are still going. There's still 3 tenths separated. And I don't think it's going to... I don't think this action is going to stop. I think we're going to be like this throughout the entirety of this race. I'm loving every second of this.
Me too, and I think this is one of those races where this is why we enjoy commentating, because of races like this. That is why I wanted to get in it for the first place pretty much a year ago, and it's just great to see. And Jorn is on the attack once again on the Parabolica. He's going to get the DRS. Mizzo's going to get the DRS as well, but Mizzo defends just at the right time there, which is going to help him.
I'm sad for Jorn because he didn't read that situation perfectly at all. He could have easily just flicked over to the inside, reverse McLaren flick. It was given the McLaren flick title because of what both Mizzo and Falsetti were doing in previous races, where they would make it look like they're going to go into one side and just sort of flick over to the other side and just dive down the inside, and it would work out nicely. Jorn could have done exactly that. He should have seen that Mizzo was going to come over to protect the line. He had every right to do that, but Jorn could have easily snatched it back over and just sent Mizzo onto the outside situation, and then that's it. Jorn's up into P2 and ultimately set any sights on Lemon, but he didn't do that. He still sits P3, and the gap is closer now than it has been before. When we came to this point last lap, they were 3 tenths apart. We come to this point this lap, and they are 2.5 tenths apart. They are just getting closer and closer. I think they're going to be almost merging if they carry on like this.
Yeah, they are. It's going to be 3 wide at this rate if they keep so much close to each other. And we've also got Yonti on Martin G. We've got Marco on Bird. We've got Rainbow on Nickturn. There's just so many battles going on in the space of corners. And Mizzo's going to try again on the Parabolic. Or they touch us a little bit, but very clean from both of them. Is Mizzo going to get the line that he really needs from Lemon? Lemon tries to hold on. It's gonna be tough to call who's going to get the position. They're both side by side. Jorn is not responding enough to try and capitalise on this, but Lemon, he just holds on to P1 by the skin of his teeth.
But look at the ERS difference between the two of them. Mizzo has been burning Lemon down. Lemon's currently sat at 50% just as he comes through the braking zone here. Mizzo sat on 87%, so he's really living life at the minute. The person who's loving it even more, though, is Jorn. He has not burnt any ERS, and he's managing to hold on to the back of these guys. It just shows how crucial Slipstream and DRS is on this track, and ultimately I don't think the two boys in front of him are really prepared for what Jorn can deliver.
Yeah, I think Mizzo and Lemon are going to be underestimating Jorn at this stage, and it's probably going to be too little too late unless Jorn can get past. We'll have to wait and see as Jorn is still keeping his ERS to 100%. That is a good saving from Yawn, and he's still able to keep up with these guys. I think that just goes to show, I think what Yawn is producing is pure driver skill, managing to keep up with these guys, even with their ERS. Oh.
There's a bit of a touch there between Jon and Mizzo. He locked up a fair bit. Didn't mean to quite carry that much pace into the hairpin, and he's not getting wing damage, and there's no real impact there for Mizzo. But the one thing that has happened is Jon has just lost about a tenth throughout that whole area. He's obviously burned a fair bit of ERS to try and close up a little bit and sort of secure himself, but now he's slowly but surely falling away. He can fix this if he wanted to. Just turn the ERS up a little bit and you're already on the back of him. Speaking of being on the back of someone, Martin G sizing up his next highlight of this race as he's already getting ready to prepare an attack on Yonti. 3.8 seconds of the gap in front of him on Buemels, so he's not really going to be able to do too much about this. Although I don't remember seeing any penalties for Martin G so far this race.
I don't think so. I will have a look at penalties and I will update you and make a list for you.
That sounds like a plan. Whilst you're doing that, I'm going to go back to the action at the front because it's about to get spicy one more time. Lap 25 of 34. Still tons of time for the scenario to change. But one thing that hasn't changed for the last 5 is that Lemon, Mizzo and Yawn have been going toe-to-toe throughout this entire race. And ultimately, Mizzo now is trying to get the position back on Lemon. Lemon's trying to squeeze him to the inside. That's not going to change anything as Mizzo gets the inside line. It's whether or not Lemon can maintain the pace. He runs wide as a result. Mizzo takes off. Yon's actually looking for an opportunity here on Lemon as well. He had to back out there. He's just trying to be a little bit more conservative. He's not really putting himself in any sort of dangerous position. That's why he's been looking after his ERS so well, because he knows he can just attack at any opportunity. I don't think he knows, though, just how much he can completely dominate this race if he wanted to. And a similar situation for Martin G.
Yep, I just had a quick look at the penalties. Mizzo and Yawn are on 1 penalty. Wemmels is on penalty as well, but Lemon, crucially, no penalties. And Martin G, crucially, no penalties. So Mercedes are keeping it clean.
They're doing a very solid job of that. Lemon will currently take the race win as it stands, and that ultimately is in Yawn's hands now. He's on the back of both of these drivers ahead of him. If Yawn turns the wick up and starts applying pressure to Lemon and make it so that he has to take lines that he doesn't want to take, he needs to make him uncomfortable is really what he has to do. And in order to do that, he needs to get himself into really awkward scenarios and stop being so conservative. Currently, we're not going to see that from Yawn. He's just been driving smart, and I wouldn't ever disagree, although he might go for it here down the inside in towards the hairpin. Gets a little bit of contact between the two of them. It's not really cost either of them anything, although Yawn did get a very poor exit. 6/10 is the gap between those two, and Martin G just still hasn't attacked Yonti yet. We've got a yellow flag sector 1. Is that Marco? It is Marco.
Yeah,
through turn 1.
We haven't seen much of Marco this race, sadly, after what happened earlier on, and his race has definitely gone from bad to worse, so I won't be surprised if he retires in the next lap when he goes to the pits, or will he keep going? But knowing him, it's just gone from bad to worse. And I think the gap, Mizzo, he's trying to pull away the gap from Lemon, but Lemon is responding every lap at this rate. But Mizzo, I think, knows that Lemon hasn't got a penalty. I think his Jeff has told him, don't forget, the Jeffs do have a bit of a glimpse of what penalties each of the drivers have got. So I think Mizzo has been told to put the hammer down. It is hammer time for Mizzo, and he really needs to start pushing.
Now, the thing to think about as well is Mizzo's now on the defensive, and he's got so much more ERS to use than Lemon, and that's not going to stop Lemon from doing what he's currently doing, which is just absolutely gunning it down. And Mizzo moved over to make it easier for him. Mizzo was hoping to keep the inside line. A bit of nudge there from Mizzo into the back of Lemon. That almost cost him some wing damage and a bit of time, but he didn't. Mizzo does still keep himself in this battle for the race lead, but ultimately it's Lemon who's going to be taking it all, as he's the one who... huge lockup from Lemon there. That was bad.
That was not good, and if I think Mizzo is going to try and come back at him if Lemon has more lockups like that. But it's getting to the stage where some people might not be finding their rhythm a little bit, and there's only it's not long to go until the end of this race, and we're approaching, I think, 7 laps to go. So it is crunch time for the top 3. I mean, Lemon's going to win this race anyway, unless Lemon gets a penalty. Mizzo and Yawn, they've got to be careful, because otherwise they'll get more penalties. Yawn is just dropping back from these guys, whilst Mizzo is having a fight with Lemon again into turn 3, but couldn't quite do on this occasion, but I'm guessing it's just waiting for the attack and trying to save the ERS from Lemon, but he doesn't know Lemon's ERS is low, whereas Mizzo's is quite high. He's going to try and get a move on Lemon right now, going into the hairpin then, and does he do it? Yes, he does, quite comfortably, and that is due to him having more ERS to play with than Lemon. So Mizzo the lead on track, but Lemon still is leading in terms of penalties. So
yeah, and that's ultimately what it's going to come down to. And I'm very worried for Jorn now. He's in the scenario where there's more in his hands than he thinks. He's not driving in the way that he needs to be able to secure this win here. We know Mizzo has a penalty. We've seen that before. We know Jorn has a penalty. We've seen that before. We know Lemon doesn't have a penalty. And the concern is that if Jorn doesn't apply the pressure to Lemon, forcing him to get into areas he doesn't like, because we've already seen weakness from Lemon, right? We saw him lock the tyres up pretty severely in the, I think it was turn 8. And that was quite detrimental to his tyres, to his tyre wear, to his tyre temperatures, and Jorn is just getting a little bit worried now. You can see the gap starting to form. Mizzo's pulled away quite nicely. Lemon's trying to conserve himself because he knows he's burning the ERS trying to close up on the back at Mizzo. And, you know, I want to see more fire from Jorn in this race. He's done well.
Yeah,
Don't let me take anything away from it, but he needs to have more.
He needs to apply more pressure, and he's just not doing that. And in a normal situation, if Bremels didn't have any penalties, Bremels will come into this as well. But Bremels not just has one penalty, he has 2. So I think Jorn has got a bit of breathing space. But what Bremels needs to worry about is Martin G, with the obviously with the 2 penalties, Martin G will be ahead of Bremels. So,
well, I've got the penalty rundown for you. I don't know if this is just a bit delayed or if Wemmels has only just got 1, but as far as I understand, Wemmels has only got 1 penalty. He's got 3 seconds. So we'll do a rundown from top to bottom.
Okay. It must have been someone else that got 2, not Bremels.
Well, this has come from one of the Jeffs. Hopefully this is accurate. So Lemon has 0 seconds. Mizzo has 3 seconds. Jorn has 3 seconds. Wemmels has 3. Martin G has 0. Yonti has 6. Yolta has 0.
Oh, it was Yonti. That was it.
Copy has 0. Just Chillin has 3. And Nickturn has 3. Rainbow has 0. Bird has 3. Racebook has 0. Blue has 9. And Marco has 3. So it's going to be interesting coming towards the end of this race. Yonti's definitely going to lose 2 places to Yolta and Copy. Just Chillin's not going to gain anything. I mean, he's just too far back anyway, but he's at a risk of potentially losing 1 to a Nickturn if Just Chillin gets another penalty. But as it stands, it's looking like Lemon's going to take the win. Wemmels is not going to gain anything. Martin G might if he can bring himself closer to Wemmels. But, I mean, he's got 4 laps and 4 tenths. Easily doable.
It's going to be a fight between the 2 Mercedes drivers for driver of the day, I think. It's going to be tough for these guys, but I don't know. But meanwhile, Just Chillin just lost a place to Rainbow, so I think Rainbow's trying his best to try and get the last point even with penalties. So
yeah,
I think it must be Just Chillin must be struggling because he was 8 seconds behind at one point. Or 8
he's
seconds.
left.
Oh, he's left the session, so I think he's disconnected. That's probably why.
Yeah, that will explain it. And look at Jorn now, just outside of DRS range, but has managed to get DRS here. Mizzo's almost broke a DRS range on Lemon, and that's ultimately starting to cost Lemon a fair bit here. I'm not sure what Lemon's going to be able to do here to actually protect himself and bring himself back. I mean, he's still got the win, let's be honest. He's still got the win as long as he doesn't get a penalty. If he gets a penalty, then he's going to be in trouble. And I jinxed him yesterday, and I'm going to do my best not to jinx him today, but Lemon's looking good now.
We're not gonna jinx anyone. Hopefully we don't jinx anyone. We did it last week, but yeah.
It was pretty sad as well, to be honest. We didn't want to be in that situation, but we ended up in that situation regardless. So we'll keep an eye out, see who does the best here. But I mean, it's looking like Mizzo has done such a strong job from beginning to end. He was benefiting from the Fossetti team tactics, if you like, there, holding the rest of the pack up. It almost benefited him enough for him to just completely sprint away here, but he couldn't do it in this final bit, and that 1 penalty may cost Mizzo this win here. He has to pray that Lemon gets 1. That's all he can do. The alternative is he backs off, lets Lemon through, and just starts applying pressure to make it so Lemon gets the penalty. But I don't even know if he can do that.
I don't know. I don't think Mizzo will pressure Lemon to make a mistake. I think he's I'm guessing he's just concentrating on his own race and starting to pull the gap a little bit. But I think one person to keep in mind is Yawn. I think Yawn might pressure Lemon into a mistake as well. Because if he does that, then they're all even on penalties. And it's a game for him. And it'll be a fight towards the finish between the top three for the race win.
Yep.
I don't think Yawn's going to probably challenge anyway. He's going to stay third place. If Blue gets another penalty, that's probably not going to affect his race that much. But, you know.
But we are now in the do or die moments of this race. Lap 32 of 34. This is a situation that realistically is sitting in the hands of Mizzo and Yawn, as Lemon doesn't really have to worry. He just has to maintain his pace and he's going to take the race win here. And then it will be Mizzo and then it'll be Yawn. But Yawn has so much more that he can do now. Mizzo is pretty much helpless. He just has to defend as much as possible and just try and protect his position. Lemon hasn't really turned the wick up to attack. I mean, he's in mode 4 right now, but he doesn't have to. He just has to sit within DRS range of Mizzo and make sure he doesn't lose it. At the same time, Yawn has to do something about this pressure that he's not applying to Lemon. If Lemon gets a penalty, it'll be a job donesy, but Yawn's just not giving it the full beans. He should, like now, he should be in mode 5, and he's not. He took so long to get to mode 4, and he's not able to really close in on him now.
And he's running out of ERS as well, and in these later stages of the race, it's costly. He's going to try and save ERS now, but I don't think it's going to be enough to try and see if he can get past these guys. So
yeah.
P3 is going to be where he stands, but Yonti is still on the back of Martin G. Don't forget, Yonti has got 2 penalties. That's not going to affect him that much, but he still wants glory anyway. He still wants to get it on track, but Martin G, I think if Yonti gets past Martin G, it won't be the end of the world, because obviously Martin G will still have P5, and Martin G has pulled off a really great performance anyway. So I'm guessing Martin G will take it a bit cautious on Yonti at the moment to make sure he doesn't have a repeat of what happened. So
yeah, I mean, Buemo's getting the extra penalty means that, I mean, he's now got 6 seconds. So ultimately, Martin G will jump him no matter what happens, as long as Martin G doesn't get a penalty. He's done really well, Martin G, and I don't want to take anything away from him. Like we said, it was the show reel for him on how well he could just hold everyone back. But we are now on the final lap. 20 laps on Mizzo's tyres, 21 laps on Lemon's tyres, and 20 laps on Yawn's tyres. Lemon is probably going to be turning it up to try and get the move done on Mizzo, and this is the opportunity. Mizzo needs to find a way to defend against Lemon that causes Lemon to get a penalty through his own mistakes, though. Mizzo holding the outside line, trying to give the inside there to Lemon. It's not going to be enough for him to be able to get through. Yawn has not been able to do anything about Lemon either. Mizzo still holds on to race lead. Lemon might get desperate here, and this might be the area that causes him to have problems. If he gets a penalty, Mizzo will take the win. That's all it will take. From one mistake of Lemon, Mizzo would take the win if that happens. But Lemon cannot lose his composure. He cannot cut this early. If he does, he's in trouble.
Yeah, I think he just needs to play it safe from Martin G. I think Yonti got trying to get past Martin G, but didn't work. So I think Martin G stays P5 for now. But anyway, Mizzo's going to come across the line on track. He's going to win on track, but he's not going to win on penalties. But here we go. Lemon's going to cross the line. And he deservedly takes the victory today in the Rwagnation League for the German Grand Prix. Mizzo takes P2, Yawn P3, Remmel's P4, but he's going to drop a few places as Martin G takes P4. 14 positions gained. And another person who's also gained quite a bit, even though he's got a few penalties, is Yeltek. He's gained 8 positions.
Yep, he's done incredibly well. A shame he got so many penalties as well in that race, because he could have gained a position or 2. And Nickturn finishes P9. Rainbow crosses the line in P10. And Bird, slowly but surely, will make it to be the best of the rest. I want to see who got the fastest lap, actually. One sec. It is Blue. So he's taken that away from the top 10 runners, which is good, smart, heads-up driving from the 2, especially with Buemels there in P5. The team points there being focused for Buemels. But Lemon with a solid drive. In fact, both Mercedes drivers drove out of their minds today. Neither of them got a penalty. And I think I've already made my mind up as to who got driver of the day. It's, we'll ask you in a second once we've done the rundown. But I'm very, very firm on mine.
Yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be a toughie. But again, we will decide. But I think I know which one you're going to go for, and I probably will agree with you, but we'll see as we'll get the standing for you pretty soon, as the champagne is going to start to fly soon, as a well-deserved win for the Mercedes of Lemon. We underestimated him, but the chat definitely did not. I must say. So, you know, I think the chat gave some good jinx to Lemon, and that's helped him.
Yeah, it really did. Lemon drove out of his mind today. He held everything. I mean, if you look at the previous races, in previous seasons, in previous leagues, I've seen Lemon really crumble at the wayside and start to have problems. But this season, this game, this year, right now, Lemon is on top of his form and he takes the race win. So P1 for him with Mizzo there in P2 due to penalties, and Yorn sits P3 as well. Martin G gained so much in that race, claimed from P18 all the way up to P4, so he obviously gains a lot of points for the team as well, with Buenos there in 5th, Copy in 6th, Yolta in 7th, Yonti in 8th, and Nickturn takes 9th, with Rainbow rounding out the top 10, Raceberg being best of the rest with the fastest lap point. Would have gone to Blue had he finished in the top 10, but he snatched it away from those in the top 10. And then your DNFs are Beaker, Gooby, Sloppy McFloppy, and Falsetti. Now, the final question for you, Jess. Who's your driver of the day?
I think for the positions gained and how that move earlier on was pretty much move of the stream, it's got to be Martin G.
Yeah, absolutely. Full on board with that. Like I said, this wasn't the Rwagnation League. This was the Martin G show reel. He dominated so well in this race to bring himself all the way up to P4. He should be very happy with his situation, and very well done to him for the driver of the day. So that's it for the Rwagnation League. Thank you everybody who watched, and thank you Jess so much for commentating. It's been a pleasure as always to commentate along.